Okay, so Google's AI, Gemini, just got a really interesting new superpower. It's designed to give it a personal memory. And I mean your memory. Let's get into what this actually means for you.
You know that feeling, right? When you're put on the spot and you need some piece of information right now, but your mind just goes totally blank. You're just stuck.
So, let's make this real. This story actually comes from one of Gemini's lead developers. Imagine you're at the tire shop. You're trying to get new tires for the family's 2019 Honda minivan.
Okay, so you finally make it to the front of the line. The clerk looks at you and asks, "What's the tire size? And what's the license plate number?" And nothing. Your mind is a complete blank. Now, normally, you'd have to go digging for your keys, run out to the car, and lose your place in line. But now, there's a new option. And this is what the developer said he did. He just said, "I asked Gemini." And that is possible because of this brand new feature they're calling personal intelligence. And this is where things get really cool.
All right, so what is this thing? How does it save you from that headache at the tire shop? Let's dig into what personal AI actually means in this context.
Okay, so here's the main idea. Personal intelligence is all about securely connecting the info that's already in your Google apps to give you answers that are, uniquely helpful and personal to you. The whole point is to have an assistant that doesn't just know a bunch of facts about the world, but actually knows about your world.
And here's the how. It works by connecting your core Google apps. We're talking Gmail, Google Photos, YouTube, and of course, search. When you do that, you're basically giving Gemini the green light to reason across all these different streams of your personal info so it can help you out right when you need it.
So let's jump back to that tire shop story for a second. This is pretty wild. Gemini didn't just spit out the generic tire size. No, it actually suggested different options based on family road trips it saw in his Google Photos. Then, it pulled the license plate number right from a picture, and it even figured out the van's specific trim by digging through his Gmail. It mashed all that together in real time to solve his problem.
Okay, I know exactly what you're thinking right now. If this thing can see my emails and my photos, is my information safe? And that is absolutely the most important question. So let's talk about the privacy side of things.
So Google is really hammering this point home. This is all built with privacy at its core. First off, it's turned off by default. You have to go in and actively turn it on. You choose which apps to connect. And you can turn it off anytime you want. And here's a really key point. All this data is already living securely inside your Google account, right? So you're not sending your sensitive info to some random third-party service.
And this right here is probably the most important distinction to understand. Your data is referenced to answer your question, but it is not used to train the main AI model. Think about it like this. The AI is learning how to read a map. That's the training part. It's not trying to memorize every single address on the map. So when you ask for your license plate number, it knows how to go read the map that is your Google Photos, find the answer, and give it to you. It doesn't then take your license plate number and add it to its big brain of general knowledge. Now, we have to remember, this is launching as a beta. And that's super important because it means it's still a work in progress. It is not going to be perfect, at least not yet.
Let's take a look at a classic example of how this kind of thing can go a little sideways. Imagine the system sees hundreds of photos of you at a golf course. What do you think it's going to conclude?
Yup, you guessed it. Gemini is probably going to think you're a massive golf fan. Internally, the developers actually have a name for this: overpersonalization. The model spots a pattern, but it completely misses the critical human nuance of why you're there.
So, the key here is how you fix it. You can just tell it. You can correct it right in the chat. Say something like, "Hey, I don't actually like golf. I go for my son." And that feedback from you is absolutely essential. That's how it corrects these mistakes and gets better at understanding things over time.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty interesting, right? But the big question is, how can you actually get it? And what does this mean for the future of AI on your phone?
Well, for now, getting access is pretty limited. It's rolling out over the next week, but only for Google AI Pro and AI Ultra subscribers. And on top of that, it's just in the US and for personal Google accounts. Google's basically saying they're starting small to learn and get feedback before they roll it out to more countries and, hopefully, the free version.
But if you are in that group and you want to try it, turning it on is super simple. You just open up the Gemini app, pop into your settings, tap on Personal Intelligence, and then hit Connected Apps to pick which services you want to link up.
And that really brings us to the big picture here.
because this is about more than just finding your license plate number a little faster. It's a huge step towards something much bigger. I mean, think about it. When your AI knows you this well, your trips, your hobbies, who you talk to, what does it even mean to have an assistant? The line starts to get really blurry between a tool you just ask questions and, well, a proactive partner that's actually helping you navigate your day-to-day life. And I think the real question that leaves us with is, are we ready for what that future looks like?